Everybody, Justin here. Just finished up week 33 of 52 Kinds of Love. Well, I kind of got an extended week, but here's how it went, and I'll explain why. So week 33 was dedicated to Kristen B. Kristen is someone who I worked with at a camp, and we used to teach random classes out in the woods, one of which was archery. That's why there's a little target on there, but there's a little bit more of a story because the reason I really picked Kristen is because I just really enjoy her presence because she's friggin' hilarious. When we were teaching archery, we used to make up stories to these sixth graders and try to get them to believe ridiculous things. So, for example, with the archery, we said that Aunt Jemima invented archery, and she was practicing against her targets against a tree, and hit the tree, it broke open, and there was maple syrup there. That's how Aunt Jemima invented syrup. So we used to make up crazy stuff like that. Underwater koalas. We would try to convince the kids that there were underwater koalas that lived in the pond on the campsite, and just crazy things like that. So I just wanted to kind of get some of that like humor back in my life and just appreciate the fun that she has with things. She's also a teacher and has taught in various different settings, and back from the days when we used to teach outdoor education to online to public school to charter schools, all kinds of stuff. So it was a really tough week because I was on the road. I'm trying to look at my calendar. I was in Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, Las Vegas and Nevada, Utah, Colorado. I think those are most of them. But yeah, I was on this road trip to Vegas and back, and it's like, man, this is going to be really tough. I really wanted to spend some time with her. So this is the challenge of 52 Kinds of Love. So we had a couple phone calls along the way. I was obviously spending a lot of hours just driving across the country. But that's also even difficult because we were losing each other as I was driving through the mountains of Colorado and things like that, and wouldn't get service in Nebraska because nothing exists there. Way to go, Nebraska. But anyways, amongst our phone call conversations, we talked about different things. We talked about education a lot and things that we see as challenges as teachers and how to overcome them and what can we do that are different. At one of her schools, Kristen was challenged to do a paperless day 1 week. One paperless day a week, and she decided to do workshop Wednesdays, and I think that's cool because I like Music Monday and High Five Friday and Thankful Thursday and things like that. So I like that idea to go paperless, to have workshops set up around the room, to have kids engaged in activities, and that's one of the things that I'll be trying this year with my new textbook that I'm teaching with. As I was on my way to Vegas, I asked for her gambling preference. She said slots, and I said that's not my thing, so put a little bit of money in just to say I could. It didn't turn out well for me. It didn't turn out poorly either, but anyways. Later in the week, I asked about some of her passions, and she said some things like pit bull awareness. We talked about education reform, and then this next one's a quote: "Not buying into ridiculous shit," parentheses, "like women wearing high heels, because that's not comfortable to anyone," she said. But I think that kind of explains who Kristen is as we worked out, and we literally taught in the woods. And it just kind of describes her free spirit and who she is. So I don't know. Either way, that made me laugh. The kind of the neat thing is she was on a road trip herself coming back from Georgia, and she had like a 12-hour drive to try to get back to Ohio, and they're trying to pull it in one night, and I was in the midst of a 13-hour drive, I believe, or 11-hour drive myself on that day. So it was kind of neat to be in the same situation. And then even on Monday, as I kind of extended her week a little bit, as I was still coming back on my trip, she ended up going back down to Columbus for kind of a workshop herself. So lots of traveling this week, so at least we were in the same mindset that way. We did make some plans for over Labor Day, since teachers have the extended weekend. with other people too. But we made some plans to have a bonfire over Labor Day weekend, so promise gonna make that happen. So I actually get to see her. And yeah, whoever I pull this week, I'm sorry you got a little bit of a shorter week. Got to make it count. That's how we do this. All right. This week is dedicated to Sammy J's. Check in next week to see who Sammy J's is and why there's a little bowl with the tiny little chip hanging out of it. All right. Bye. Peace. 52 kinds of love.